I have mentioned that there will be multiple significant announcements on this channel in 2025, and this video marks the first. On the screen with me is a video I published in November of 2023. It's titled Ideas for Starting a Digital Accessibility Business, and I'm going to start now by playing a 20-second clip. This service could be quite valuable. And then the one other bullet point I have here is podcast transcripts. So we know there are so many podcasts available, but the vast majority of podcasts do not have transcripts with them. And so this is something you could offer without even having access to a website. You could host the transcripts yourself. You could provide the transcripts and then offer this service to all these different podcasts. And this would be quite valuable. And I love this idea so much so that I made it happen. So today marks the official launch of Transcript Host, and I've now tabbed to the homepage. The heading reads, Transcripts Made Accessible. We host your transcript, you share it. So I'm going to tab to the first, or not tab, I'm going to scroll down to the first question in the frequently asked questions. I don't get it. What is going on here? Transcripts are the text versions of stuff like podcasts and webinars. There's not always a good place to put them. So Transcript Host makes it easy for you to host your transcript and then just link to it from anywhere. So whether it's your show notes, your video description, web page, you just link to your transcript and then people can access it. All right, and then so scrolling up to the unique features that you won't find anywhere else. So the first card is content accessibility. So transcripts mean that people who are deaf or hard of hearing can easily access your content. There is secure and scalable hosting. It's more findability. So you have the ability now to repurpose your audio and video content into text, and now people can find you in a different way. You can also share publicly or privately. So if you want everyone to be able to find your podcast and increase your searchability, potentially be found on Google, you can share the podcast publicly, or you can make it so that only people with a link have access to it. And then I have another card here, which is, I think, an important one, which really led me to the idea of Transcript Host, is that there's organization. So what I came across was that as I was creating transcripts, I didn't feel like my website was the best place to put them. And that's because it didn't fit into the overall structure of the website. There was a blog, right? And I had blog posts, but the transcripts really aren't blog posts. And then I could create them, I could link to them as individual pages. But again, they didn't really make sense as an individual page on my website. And then there's also the aspect of your crawl budget. So Google only dedicates a certain amount of resources to searching your website and crawling your website. So you probably don't want the crawl budget to be spent on transcripts. And so for that reason, you may not even want transcripts on your website whatsoever. So this Transcript Host combines all of this and takes care of it all at once. And so I think that's what makes it so nice, is that there are multiple benefits coming in from different angles here. And now I'm going to tab over to an actual placeholder transcript. So there are no transcripts on here yet. This is, again, I just made this to where you can actually purchase a subscription and now host your transcript. So this is live today. And the placeholder here, we have a title, The Misdemeanor Crime Thriller in El Paso. And then if we scroll down, we can see there's this long transcript where we have these different speakers being identified. And it's just all on a very nice, clean page that is easy to read. And by the way, you can increase the readability. One, you can increase the font size easily, or the text size. So I've just increased the text size. And then you can also turn it on dark mode if you prefer it to be on dark mode. Let me see here. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, we now have dark mode turned off or turned on, so that there's a black background with the white contrasting text. So it's just really nice and easy to read, which is the whole point here, is now there's an easy way to link to your transcript, to have your transcript hosted, and you don't have to worry about putting it on your website. And now, as I was talking about in the clip, a lot of podcasts, and we know how popular podcasts are. A lot of podcasts do not have transcripts whatsoever. So this is already helping with step one, and then we're going beyond and just taking care of some of those problems after you've created a transcript. And I know that Apple Podcasts has automatic transcripts, but what is a problem is they don't identify the speakers. So that's a huge problem, because otherwise you don't know who's talking. So it's nice that they have the automatic transcripts, but you really need to have the speakers identified. Of course, there are so many services, and I'm going to create some tutorials on how to make this easy and how to use AI, and or combine AI with another tool to quickly create transcripts. But you really need to have the speakers identified. And then with Spotify, when you actually look at a lot of the podcasts, and when I went to my own Spotify dashboard, I am currently not eligible to have an automatic transcript. And then for a lot of popular podcasts, even they don't have the automatic transcript. So we're going to be looking at those in future videos. But for now, the point is that Transcript Host is available, and this is going to make transcripts easier, not just for podcasts, but for everything, even for, let's say, a webinar or an instruction series or whatever it is. And so, of course, we know that if videos have closed captions, to be WCAG 2.1 AA conformant, you don't need to have a transcript in place. It's always nice, but for audio, you definitely need to have a transcript in place. And so this is why for podcasts, this is absolutely essential to have. So this not only helps with accessibility, this not only helps with branding and making sure that your podcast is findable and searchable. This is also going to help with the compliance aspect. So, of course, we know that there are so many existing and future laws that are requiring accessibility. And with the emergence of podcasts and with so much with multimedia otherwise, transcripts become an essential part of this. And so this is going to help with that gap in the marketplace where there really wasn't a good place to host your transcript. And now this makes it so much easier. People can find your transcript through the Transcript Host platform. There are just so many ways that this is beneficial. So I'm going to link to Transcript Host in the description. If you do have any feedback, I am working on, this is the first day it's live, so we're going to be making improvements as we go. But this is a huge step forward. This is going to help with accessibility. This is going to help with brand exposure. This is going to help with having more content out there, providing different ways that people can find you. There are so many benefits here. It's a win-win-win all the way around. So this is the first significant announcement of the year. It's one that has been in the works for several months, and it's so nice to see that it's finally live. So yeah, I will link to Transcript Host and more videos to come on how to make use of transcripts, how to make transcripts easier, how to make it so that there's a speaker identified, and then also there will be other tutorials I can't think of now. Oh, and we'll also have a tutorial on the Apple Podcast, the automatic transcripts, and then Spotify transcripts as well. So all of these resources will be in the description for this video.